Good morning, everybody, and thank you for tuning in on the Engine Builder Show. For our topic today, Gabe will be talking about what he learned from a 10-year storm that hit BME. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and enjoy the show. Good morning, everybody.
There was always a ton to learn. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well and that your week is going well and that May has been productive for you so far. As Jethro said, I want to talk about what I learned from a 10-year storm hitting Team BME. And I learned a lot during this period, and it was actually December of this past year into, I believe the storm hit in December, and then we kind of were dealing with the after effects for a few weeks into January. And there was a large super typhoon in the Philippines where about 2/3 of my team is now. And it was unexpected, obviously. While there was definitely storm reports and the team let me know what was going on there, it was not expected to, on my side, to have that kind of situation happen. And the damage ended up being more than we expected as well. And it reminded me of really how in business we can never really tell when certain things are going to happen. There's always going to there's going to be natural disasters, there's going to be unexpected legal issues, there's going to be projects that fail, there's going to be things that just don't go our way. And because of that, I believe that we can be proactive in planning and actually establish things that will help us be more successful in the long run and allow us to plan effectively and create consistency in our businesses, serve our teams, serve our clients, and overcome things that come our way. And so one of the things that I realized over like I said, in December into January, after the storm hit and we were dealing with, team members not having power and some of their homes being hit and things like that happening, it was, we were fortunate that no one was killed or injured, but they just went through some pretty severe storms. And one of the things that I realized is that up to that point in our company, we didn't really have business continuity planning in place. And so we didn't have things in place where if somebody was going to be out due to, again, a natural disaster or, a more prolonged illness or something like that, we didn't really have a good backup system in place. So one of the first things that we did is start working on a system where it's business continuity is the official title of it, but really it's just a buddy system internally with our team where if somebody's off or if something comes up unexpectedly or there's natural disaster, we have backup plan for each department, and each role has somebody that's backing up that position in case something happens. And I think in the modern world, we go for such long periods of time where there's not a big emergency, where there's not a big disaster, that we forget that those things can happen unexpectedly, and they can and will happen, especially in our cycle as entrepreneurs. And so having a system in place like that says, okay, should this person be out unexpectedly for a short time, or even some of our team members were unavailable for a few weeks or even almost a month, what's going to happen in the meantime? How do you still serve your clients? How do you still show up and make sure that there's good results? And that having that continuity plan in place and having essentially a clear role defined for somebody and a backup person to fill that position temporarily is the first step there. The second thing I learned during that period, which I was grateful that I was in a position to act on this, is that I really believe that it's important and wise that we have, cash reserves and we have enough, backup resources in place so that when something unexpected does happen, we're able to cover the differences, provide some resources and support to the team who was affected by it. And we're able to ride out an unexpected challenge like that. It's one of the reasons why, as entrepreneurs, it's important that we continue to invest in our own financial intelligence, that we're, planning our resources, that we're really looking strategically at how long of a cash runway do I have? What do I have available in credit? how can I overcome an unexpected storm to my business, whether it's an actual, physical storm in the real world, a natural disaster, or if there's something unexpected that comes your way where, something happens with your family or something happens personally and you have to, deal with that, or a huge, hit comes and you lose a bunch of accounts, or like, there's just a lot of different things that can happen in business. And if we're prepared and we have reserves and we're really being responsible financially, then it's much easier to ride out those things and be in a position where you can shift and change and reestablish, some consistency and strength, and then get back on track. But if you don't intentionally plan ahead, and create those cash reserves and have a backup plan and that buddy system for the roles that you do have, then you're going to be caught off guard, and it can be much, much worse than it is. The third thing that I learned during this period was, there was a few team members who had lost power. Their homes were either, were severely damaged, and they didn't have internet. And so they had to travel a few hours to even be able to get internet, make a phone call, connect with us and let us know what was going on. And in that moment, I really thought through our, first guiding principle that says relationships first, that we believe in investing in relationships. And I thought, you know what, in this situation, if I was in their position, really with, a lot of tragedy going on, a lot of challenges, a lot of adversity, it would be, difficult for me to be productive at work and deal with the things I need to deal with, at home, for my family. And I would just be in a position where I would be stressed, and it would be difficult to say the least. And I thought, what would be the best thing I can do for our team? What would be the thing that would actually also be wise to do for our company? Because those are things that we have to balance as entrepreneurs and think through. And so I made the decision for a couple of folks who were severely affected, we were able to use a program that we have here at BME where we were able to give them hazard pay and just, help them through that period where they didn't, have to worry about work. They were getting a little bit of income coming in, a portion of what they would normally be making. And there was a couple really positive benefits that came from that. One is, most importantly to me, I was able to take care of my team members. And so I'm grateful that we were able to do that. But just as importantly, as we look at the long-term effect of that, I could have said, which I glad we didn't, and didn't ever have an intention to, but a real option would be to say, you know what, well, you can't work and you're not going to be back for 3 or 4 weeks, or maybe even 6 weeks. And so we're just going to have to let you go and find somebody else. If I was short-sighted and did that, then I actually would have spent a ton of time and money replacing those people just to get, back to square one. And the new people wouldn't have the experience with our company. They wouldn't have, all the training that I'd invested in these team members. And so not only was it beneficial and awesome that we had the opportunity as a company to provide for folks for a short time while they weren't able to work, but also it actually was the best choice for the business, because those team members came back stronger than ever. They knew, as all our team members know, that we have their back and we're here to support them. And then ultimately it ended up being much wiser financially to offer them some hazard pay, help them out financially for a short season so that they were able to get on their feet and come back and help, and be back with the team on their regular shift and support us and our clients. And I think going through that process just kind of helped me understand that these types of storms, again, real, environmental, real natural disasters that come our way, or the other types of business storms that come our way, unexpected legal problems or projects being canceled or a key team member being sick, all of these things are going to happen at some point. And so it's our responsibility as leaders, as the entrepreneur in the business, to think through and say, okay, how do I create contingency plans for those things? How do I continue to be wise in how I manage my finances and realize that day is coming, regardless of what we want to think? All those things do come our way. And then how do I really take care of my team so that they can remain whole, get back to being whole and healthy and in good shape, and simultaneously protect the business's health along the way. So those are the things that I really thought through. And it's been a few months. Like I said, that was end of December into January. So it was a little while ago. But as I was thinking about it this week, I just thought that those would be important things to share, and I hope that they're valuable to you, so you can think through how are you going to create continuity in your business. How are you going to be more, financially intelligent and have more responsible planning with your finances? And then how do you, help out your team members, your employees, the folks that work with you when they're in trouble? How do you invest in them, protect and help them, and simultaneously keep the business in good shape? So those are the lessons that I learned from it. I hope that's useful, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show.